is how much people wanted to do things and how willing they were to actually build a gymnasium so that we could put the Gansfield and Wedgeworth piece in it, and also build in the winter, the most difficult time to build, to finish the sky space. So there was little that I could do to stop this. And you know, there's no reason for me to want to stop it, because this is how I also see my own work. But this is work that you all have made for me. And I could have done it with the spirit that was here, and also the assistants, Matthew and Thorsten, and all the people who have assisted me, and also Florian Holzer, who photographs it, and also the loans from the Weisler Contemporary Gallery and also the Gagosian Gallery. So this was quite something. Also, we brought a sphere over here completely 4 meters in diameter without taking it apart, all the way from England. So that was sort of Deus Ex Machina in terms of solving the plot of getting this show together. So it's been something that was a great pleasure for me. And I have to say that I didn't know too much about this community at first. I mean, I didn't know very much about Rudolf Steiner, except I am someone who is an Edgar Cayce freak and loved this psychic who actually referenced Rudolf Steiner in relation to his writings about early Christianity, which greatly interested me because of its relationship to how the Quakers and the Children of Light came about. And so he wrote quite a bit about this, and that's what I knew about him. And then, of course, I asked people who went to Waldorf schools about Rudolf Steiner, and they knew nothing. This was quite shocking. Most people don't know too much about him, even though they are part of his life. And so this life is so inculcated into all of the people that are here, and to the culture, and to the good food which we've had here and consumed here as we have made this show. I mean, we've really taken a great affection to this. So this sort of Team Turrell has come to call this part of Steinerville. We thought of it as Camp Rudy. So myself, as an unreconstructed hippie from the 60s, it's great to see sort of the post-hippies continuing with this kind of life. And to see that it has something to do with contemporary art is rather interesting. So I have had a great pleasure to be involved with all of you here. And it's something I respect this community and its values. And also this is something that you all deserve because you made it happen. So we do in life, in sort of the truly karmic way, get what we deserve. And I'm really happy that you have made such a wonderful show. And to be a part of that, and to be also Hilma Afghan and Rudolf Steiner, and also many of those who were in this exhibition that I think some of you have seen, and others have seen the catalog from Wolfsburg, was really amazing. I wasn't part of that exhibition to begin with, but they didn't want to take my piece down, so it became part of the exhibition anyway. And that was something that was helped to occasion this sort of outpouring of work and expression. It is very difficult to make a work in light. I mean, we don't form it with the hands like clay, and we don't, or hot wax, and we don't carve it away like wood or stone. We don't put it together, weld it like steel. So this working with light is something that takes thought, but it turns out to make this world of light probably takes more material than most normal sculpture. And all of this material is this building of these spaces that in some way protect or apprehend light for our perception. And that this is a magical reality is something that I've always believed, because this material light, which we usually use to illuminate other things, has itself a magical thingness. And rather than having light reveal something about other things, I've always loved the revelation of light itself. So this is something that does take some kind of thinking and doing to create. We relate to light physically. We drink it as vitamin D through the skin. So actually, life is a food, without which vitamin D is not brought to us naturally, and depression can set in. So this is something known very well in the northern climates here. They do put vitamin D into milk, fortifying milk with vitamin D so that children get it, but they forget to put it into beer and wine for adults. So, and it doesn't quite work in the 2% beer that you have here. But this magical elixir light is also something that has a profound psychological and emotional effect. And this is something that I think that we all feel, and I'm very much related to that, and also to this idea of being bathed in light, to enter the light. Because we don't normally see light like this every day, but it's not unknown to us. We literally see this light in the dream. We have a fully formed vision with the eyes closed, one that we often can know about in the dream upon wakening, but as we awake, the dream is leaving. Just like New Year's resolutions and ideas to go on diets, things like this. So that this idea for me was to actually bring this light into a place to see it with the eyes open. So this light that we are so familiar with is out in the open, and we actually enter it. So it's like the light that we see and encounter in the dream. We also have a relationship to light in a spiritual way. If you think of the explanation or story of Saul's conversion on the road to Damascus, if you think about samadhi or ideas of enlightenment, or descriptions of near-death experience, are all told in the vocabulary using light. So this is something that's very powerful, and I've always felt that light was very important, but this is not new. This is something that if you think of all the painters here in Norway and in Sweden, and also if you think about Constable and Turner, Caspar David Friedrich, also Vermeer and Rembrandt, and if you think of also all the Impressionists, light has powerfully been involved with art throughout its time forever. And I think this is an amazing thing that is continued, and you see that. For me, I was thrilled by the art of Mark Rothko, and of course Ed Reinhardt, who brought this light out of darkness, like some of my favorite work in the dark spaces. And this idea of light coming out of darkness, that there never is no light, was something very important. So this is something that I've tried to bring here in a show that has a good sampling of my work, and I think it does have something to do with what all of you are involved in this life that you've taken on here. So I again want to applaud Rembert and his crew, Anders, and everyone here for all the work that you've given, and I hope you do enjoy this very much.